Alright, so before we get into tonight's featured video, there is one correction that I'd like to make. The reg function that I mentioned on the calculator is not actually regular anything. It is regression calculations. I only found that out after I read the manual. So, just substitute regular for regression. It's my fault that I made that mistake, I apologize. And on that note, let's get into tonight's featured video. I'm not really a fan of unboxing new things. Now this is a Casio fx-991MS Plus scientific calculator that I got today, and I'm going to be unboxing for you guys on camera, so let's go ahead and very carefully get it open. Out here, those are your instructions, and there is the actual calculator itself. So let's take a look, before we take a look at the actual calculator, let's take a look at what it can do. It can do a matrix vector calculation, it has stat data, it can do solve calculation and formula memory, or it has that, 40 scientific constants and 40 metric constants, and solar plus with battery backup. So it is a dual power with a solar and a battery, and it has also got a 2-line display. So it has several different modes of operation, second functions, and other things. It even lets you put in alpha characters, which is a nice thing to have, and it also has this, which is a chart of various things that you can do. But you should probably still read the manual. Might be a good idea. Basically, when you buy these calculators, you will get the following. 2 stickers that you can put your name on. A warranty card, a limited warranty card, which you might want to read. An instruction manual, the user's guide. And a user guide too with additional functions. You'll also get their French equivalents, which will be in green font. If you get an fx-912MS, be sure to read the important notice on the back of the manual. So when you get a 912MS, it will also come with a little piece of paper, I suppose, attached to the back of the manual that will explain safety precautions, or that will explain the important notice when you get it. This is for the 570 and the 991. I have right here a 991. So there are a number of things that this can do. And I'm going to go get my other one and show you exactly a comparison between the two. And you can see what we have here is an FX300MS compared to the 991MS. But the 300 is quite a bit thicker. Let's do a size comparison here. That is about the size there, and the 300 has the edges sticking off of it. The only difference between this and that is that this one actually has a glossy plastic finish, which will scratch easily. So you want to be careful with that. Solar panel on the 300 is bigger, probably because it draws more power, which is ironic considering this is the lower end model. You can also see, if you take a closer look, that this one has many functions that are specific to this calculator and not this one. But now let's power them both up. So they both start at about the same screen. There's really no difference there. They both have the shift, which is second function. There's no difference there. You also have alpha functions, which allows you to print out the alphanumeric characters that are on the calculator, which are A to F and X, Y, and M on both models. There's an E there as well. That does something. Although again, you'd have to read the manual to do that, figure out what they are. You can clear multiple different ways. Clicking AC clears it from the screen and starts a new one, but it keeps it in the memory. If you hit on, same calculation here, it clears everything. You can see on the replay for the 300 there is nothing but the actual movement keys. On this one we have a replay copy. That is explained in the second manual. So what you can do here, if I have this right, you can do 1 plus 1. We will do this for example. 2 plus 2. For example, 4 plus 4. And 5 plus 5. So that is basically your memory contents. So what I can do is I can shift and do that. And that's what happens. I can have 2 calculations or more on the screen if I wish. And there is all of them on there at once. Let's take a look at the different menu screens, or the different modes. So first off, this one has comp mode, which is the standard mode, standard, deviation, and reg, which I believe is a regulatory there. This one actually has comp and complex. I don't know what that exactly means. It might mean complex for doing complex calculations. And then we have standard, deviation, reg, and base. Basically, though this one has more functions. And actually, it even has more. It has equation, mat, and vector. So this one can do lots of different functions. The mat, I believe, is a matrix calculation. Then we have your degrees, radians, and gradients. Nothing is different there. You have a fixed decimal, scientific notation, and normal on both. And then you have a disk mode, which I believe changes the way fractions are displayed. Whole fractions are displayed as improper, or something else. Something similar. And on this, we have the 991, we have a few other things. We have logic. I don't know what that is, I've never seen it before. We have decimal, hexadecimal, binary, and octadecimal, I believe is what that is. Don't quote me on that. I'm not really your calculator enthusiast, so I have absolutely no idea. So, well, I think I've pretty much covered the differences between the two. There's not really much else I need to cover. Oh yeah, that's the only other difference I can see, that this one uses a lighter plastic on the bottom than this one does. You can see the obvious thickness differences there. In fact, I used to have just a generic, cheap-ass Chinese-made, I believe it was a Get brand that I got at a Shoppers Drug Mart, for God's sakes. But it had a pretty similar design to this. It had the same features and same functions as the 300MS, but it looked pretty similar to the 991MS. The only difference with this and the that piece of crap was that the little plastic piece went to the edge of the calculator. Other than that, there was really no difference. There you go. That is my video of the Casio fx-991MS, comparing it to the 300MS. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you next time. Till then.